Well, I thought it was time to actually make a video to go on this channel. So I got an order through my Etsy shop and I thought might as well make a little video of it. Sun's shining and got everything ready to go in the workshop. So I'm just choosing some nice American red oak. Cut it to size, I think it's 14.5 centimeters wide, and just measuring it out now, I think 21 centimeters long, and it's about 2 centimeters thick. So just trimming the edge down on the old chop saw, get rid of the sealed end, a little bit left, about 7 off later, cutting it down to size. And yep, giving it the old sandy sand. Just getting rid of the old burrs on the edges. Make sure there's nothing catching for when it goes in the laser machine later. Just setting it up on the Carve CNC, clamping it down. Making sure it's nice and secure. So this is the Silhouette Cameo software. Here I'm just getting the numbering right. I found that if I do the numbering and it doesn't always center properly for some strange reason, so I just do a copy of it. Nice outlines, that'll give me a perfect center. So I'm just saving that as an SVG onto the desktop so I can use later. And then just opening up easel. Just getting the dimensions right. Yep, 21 centimeters by 14.5. Doesn't really matter about the depth because I'm not going all the way through. And importing the SVG file, and I actually forgot to resize in the Silhouette Cameo software, so just doing it by eye there really, and then centering that on the material, putting the depth to 7mm. I chose a 90-degree V-bit to go on this, so that's the simulation. It takes 4 minutes in total to carve, which is pretty good. Setting up the probe, having to do the contact to make sure that everything's working. Wait for it. Nice. So I'll put that away, make sure I know where it is for next time, and then just getting my X and Y axis all done. Setting the old starter point. So that came out pretty nice. Nice clean carve. Always give it a little hoover. I'm running a bit of laser machine in there as well, so I try and keep everything quite clean, dust free. And just release it from the clamps. I do turn the machine off at this point, so when you see me move the gantry back, I'm not going against the motors here. And yep, nice clean carve. Not bad for 4 minutes. So getting the Glowforge now started. It's already been on for a while, so it's all gone through its cycle, taking out the crumb tray because the piece of wood's too thick to be able to do a nice clean etch. So just putting a piece of wood down. Giving the lens a bit of a clean. So just kind of eyeballing this, getting it in the middle, because you see the camera on top of the lid. And then this is where I'm just having a little look, because the client asked for an old map of West Yorkshire. So I'm just kind of finding some old Ordnance Survey map, which I can drag into the Silhouette software and again give that a trace. So when I'm doing this, I get the box quite close to the edges because there's less cleanup to do. So then it's kind of just eyeballing, everyone's different, eyeballing which is the best kind of like tolerance to give it. Then when you've got the trace, it's eyeballing, do you give it a fill or do you just use the lines? Do you give it a fill but then you get rid of the lines so it's less thick? So it's all kind of different to each individual piece that you're using. Then here, that's just a slice cut, because then that let me clean up. So here I'm just getting rid of all the old peripheral kind of little specks. Give it a bit of a clean. And then it's just kind of how you want it. For me, it was just getting rid of these little bits and pieces, all the edge bits, lining it up because it's a little bit crooked. And then just just moving some bits and pieces that are in the overall piece. Does take a bit of a while, but in the long run it's worth it. It was generally just highlighting the bits that you don't want and then just pressing delete. Again, this is the Silhouette Cameo software that comes with my vinyl cutter. I upgraded this to the business edition or the design edition because that lets me save in SVGs, and then I can use that file for both the laser machine and the CNC, so that's good. And then showing it off wouldn't be Dark Star if I didn't put some flares and lenses on it. So this is in the Glowforge online kind of cloud-based software, and then having the print going as well. Glowforge aren't the fastest. Whilst that's going, just show you just all my stickers, all my Maker buddies. These are what I've picked up from like Maker Central and Maker Camp. There's lots more for me to collect. You know, the obligatory time lapse. I think in total this took 36 minutes, I think it was, from top to bottom. I was going to mask it first. I have done them previously and I didn't quite get the depth that I really wanted. This wood's very, very dense, so it takes it quite well. It just needs a bit of a sand. Because it gives it a bit of a deeper etch, means I'm able to sand it afterwards. So looking good so far. I'm liking the fact that the map is actually in the numbering as well. sanding. Oh look, more sanding. I think, yeah, this is under 320, so it's not taking much meat off, it's just taking a little fine. It looks like it's taking detail off there, but that's just dust actually inside the etching. Bit of a clear coat. I actually made a bit of a mistake because I've clear coated it, and then I'm actually going to put it on the router table, but, you know, take off those little corners. But it just means that more clear coat the better, because it's going to be outside. So giving it a nice little chamfered edge. Gives it like a 45-degree little angled edge there. And this table's sturdy as hell. It's a beast. Hell of a machine. This gives it a nice look at the end. And that wood cuts beautifully on it. It's such a solid wood. So this is just a stirrer stick that I've just glued some sanding paper. Just get the edges if there's any little burrs. And another little clear coat. Probably gets about 4 coats in total. It's going to be outside. And as well, having the clear coat on now rather than at the end means that the wood is actually sealed. So when the resin going in, it's not soaking into the wood at all. And the clear coat really makes the grain pop as well. So it's do resin time. Yep, this UV resin cuts down on a lot of the preparation time. So doing Andy Berkey Proud with the gold leaf. And I've used this before, and you don't need a lot at all. You need like a tiny amount. It's very, very strong stuff. So cutting this into strips and then into smaller pieces. I've used this previously in the past and I used way too much, and the resin just I was kind of going for a bit of an opaque look, to see if you could actually see maybe the map like through it. You can if you look hard enough, but it wasn't really needed on the client's brief. And with this stuff, it cures UV, so working time's good. It's not going to start curing just out like that. It needs kind of direct sunlight, or a torch, UV torch, or the nail lamp that I'll be using. So this is kind of take a deep breath, hold it in, and just Also, having the clear coat means if there's any drips, it's easily just wipeable. And there's just eyeballing, really, just... I mean, I've sped this footage up a little, I was going quite slow. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Some bubbles there, which I'll get rid of in a second. But yeah, the light catches those flakes pretty well. Yeah, you don't need to go crazy when doing that, it's just the heat that makes the bubbles pop. And then here, just setting up the resin. I think I did about 3 or 4 cycles of 90 seconds a time, just to make sure. So you can see there's quite a nice deep etch as well into the wood. And this is it. Final product. It's reached its owner and they're very happy, and I was so happy with it, I actually made one for myself. And being the true geek that I am, I did mine with a Middle-earth map that I found online. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one.
Subscribe.